Chapter 10-11, Aurora Sword Principle. In the rift of the territory of the Rock Demon clan, Jian Wushuang was stunned when seeing the 9 sword scars on the mountain wall. Judging from the 9 sword scars on the wall, he could imagine Sunrise Sword Emperor swiped faster and faster. The last one was so fast that it was even beyond Jian Wushuang's imagination, which completely refreshed his knowledge of swordsmanship. He then forgot about everything, immersing himself in meditation upon sword principle. Under the command of God Hong, the clansman of the Rock Demon clan who used to meditate upon sword principle didn't come to the rift to bother Jian Wushuang during these days. Jian Wushuang threw himself into study, meditation, and practice. In a wink, 5 years had passed. Jian Wushuang stood quietly in the rift, staring at a vertical boulder in the front. Then he drew out his sword right away. Jian Wushuang drew his long sword out. With a flash of sword light, he put it back to the sheath. If an ordinary person saw this, he wouldn't believe his eyes, or he would think that Jian Wushuang didn't even move. Yet at this moment, the vertical boulder in front of Jian Wushuang was sliced in the middle of its body and finally fell to the ground. Its cut was extremely smooth and flat. Seeing this, Jian Wushuang couldn't help putting a smile on his face. Congratulations, Jian Wushuang. You have created the second sword principle of your own. The voice of Jiu King rang in Jian Wushuang's mind. Ha ha, Jian Wushuang said with a grin. It never occurred to him that there would be 9 sword scars left by Sunrise Sword Emperor in the territory of the Rock Demon clan. What was more, the 9 sword scars were from easy to difficult, which made it quite easy for Jian Wushuang to meditate on. Through this meditation, he had been inspired in many ways. It helped him create his second sword principle over the 5 years. I created the first sword principle by absorbing the essences of many sword principles and integrating them to make a more powerful and horrible sword principle. Through evolution, this sword principle should unify into one at the end. But the second sword principle, Jian Wushuang said. Jian Wushuang squinted slightly. The second sword principle came from the 9 sword scars left by Sunrise Sword Emperor through meditation. It also focuses on speed. By now I just learned its basis. It was also a sword principle at the most common level. As for its name, for now, I shall just call it Aurora Sword Principle. He had created 2 sword principles. One of them was Coalescence Sword Principle, and the other one was Aurora Sword Principle. Both of them were sword principles at the common level. Yet, there was still a lot of room for improvement. Needless to say, as for Coalescence Sword Principle, he could make it more and more powerful by integrating more sword principles and making a perfect combination of essence of those sword principles. As for Aurora Sword Principle, speed was the most important thing. Now that Jian Wushuang had only preliminarily mastered it, obviously he could make it more powerful. Jian Wushuang, although you have created 2 sword principles and enhanced your overall strength, your swordsmanship can't enable you to display your sword principles to full extent. Therefore, now you shouldn't focus on improving the level of sword principle. Instead, you should turn to swordsmanship suitable for your sword principles. The voice of Jiu King rang in his mind again. Only when your sword principle match with your swordsmanship perfectly can you completely fulfill yourself. I see. Jian Wushuang nodded and said. He was also aware of his drawbacks on swordsmanship. Boundless Heaven Sword Art was his best swordsmanship. However, Boundless Heaven Sword Art just focused on power, which was apparently not suitable to improve his 2 sword principles. It's not difficult to create a matching swordsmanship to fully display Coalescence Sword Principle. After all, it unifies all swordsmanships into one, which makes it applicable to various swordsmanships. The problem is Aurora Sword Principle. Jian Wushuang muttered to himself. About the swordsmanship suitable for Aurora Sword Principle, I do have an idea, but it needs to be tested in constant efforts. The 9 sword scars left by Sunrise Sword Emperor are profound and extensive. It has a lot in common with my Aurora Sword Principle. It probably can inspire me in many ways to create a matching swordsmanship. Jian Wushuang looked up at the 9 sword scars on the mountain wall and then started digging into swordsmanship. When he first arrived Samsara continent, he was so eager to look for his father. But now, he was totally calmed. The 9 sword scars left by Sunrise Sword Emperor were of great use to him. He would certainly want to stay longer to improve his sword principles as well as his swordsmanship level. As time went by, Jian Wushuang had long forgotten about everything else. In a flash, Jian Wushuang had already been meditating in the rift for 13 years. Upon the void outside the rift, God Hong and Qing Bin stood side by side. Master Wushuang is still cultivating there. Looking down at Jian Wushuang, who was absorbed in studying swordsmanship, Qing Bin secretly praised. He has completely indulged in swordsmanship meditation. God Hong said with a smile, Jian Wushuang is not only extremely talented but also a lot more diligent than most people. No wonder he can make such an achievement in less than 2,000 years. By the way, during these days, was there discontent from the clansmen who used to meditate in the rift? No. Qing Bin shook his head and said with a smile, when Master Wushuang first came to our clan, he helped us to defeat numerous experts of the Black Python clan and saved a lot of our clansmen. Everyone in our clan knows what he did. They appreciate him a lot, including clansmen who cultivate sword principles. Therefore, no one has complained about it when they knew Master Wushuang has been cultivating in the rift. That's good. God Hong said, nodding slightly, this young man has got extraordinary potentials. He'll achieve great success in the future. It's also beneficial for us to be friendly with such a potential expert. That's right. Qing Bin nodded along and said, speaking of the Black Python clan, something might go wrong among them judging from their actions these days. God Hong suddenly frowned and said, in terms of strength, the Black Python clan is much stronger than us. In the battle between us, they will come at us outrageously as long as we win a little. However, this time we have gained such a big advantage, yet they didn't react at all. It is absolutely unusual. Take my order. Tell our clansmen to be careful as much as possible. My gut tells me that the Black Python clan is planning something drastic. Something drastic? Qing Bin appeared puzzled but immediately realized. He said, I see. God Hong and Qing Bin didn't stay any longer in this void. Soon they left. Jian Wushuang was still alone in the rift, concentrating on practicing his swordsmanship. Since he created the second sword principle, it had been 8 years in total. His swordsmanship was quite different from what it used to be. Chapter 10-12, Incident. In a grand hall, many experts of the Black Python clan gathered together. Everyone looked quite excited. We've finally come to this day after preparing for so long. The leader of the Black Python clan was an insidious man with a little black snake coiling on his shoulder. He looked around with ice-cold eyes like vipers and said, we are going to do it today, follow everything by the plan. This time, we must make them pay a heavy price and leave them to go to the dogs. Yes. One after another, the experts of the Black Python clan around him nodded excitedly. After fighting against each other for so many years in this territory, the enmity between the Black Python clan and the Rock Demon clan had long gone into a situation in which they would fight to the death. The two populations would trample the other side underfoot downright without hesitation given a chance. And this time, for the Black Python clan, it was definitely a now or never chance. Master Di Yang, later when God Hong shows up, I will have to bother you to deal with him. The insidious man looked towards a black-robed elder sitting next to him and said with a hint of modesty. On hearing this, the black-robed elder raised his head slightly and unfolded his skinny old face. Black mysterious cracks could be seen all over one of his cheeks. If Jian Wushuang was there, would have recognized him at a glance. The black-robed elder was Di Yang, the expert from the Sky-Devouring clan who worked with Jin Yu to ambush Dragon Wing Governor and him outside of Jin Yu's castle back then. Di Yang came from the bloodline of the Sky-Devouring clan and liked to devour the essence blood of all kinds of exotic beasts. He once had his eye on Dragon Wing Governor. However, he had to give up because Jian Wushuang got in his way. After that, he traveled along and happened to come to this territory as well. Then he accepted the invitation from the experts of the Black Python clan and came to help them defeat the Rock Demon clan. The Rock Demon clan has been known for powerful body defensive ability. God Hong had awakened a part of the bloodline and reached the level of rank 3 Dao Master. Even I'm not totally sure that I could kill him for good, but I could manage to wound him badly. The black-robed elder Di Yang said, it will be enough as long as you can inflict serious injuries on him and hold down his battle strength for a short while. If the plan works, the overall strength of the Rock Demon clan will be severely cut down, and God Hong will also be unable to use his strength. Then our Black Python clan could unite the experts to wipe out the whole Rock Demon clan. The insidious man said in a low voice. In this way, the Black Python clan should be the only advanced population over the territory ever after. Di Yang laughed and said, "Ha ha, I still have to bother you to help us achieve that, Master Di Yang." The insidious man laughed along and said. Soon the experts of the Black Python set off. In the rift of the territory of the Rock Demon clan. Buzz, buzz. The whole rift was full of sword essence. Yet Jian Wushuang, who was in the very center of sword essence, stopped and slowly put back his sword. After digging for so many years, I finally completed this move. Jian Wushuang said with a delightful face. Jian Wushuang, the talent you have got on sword principle is undoubtedly marvelous. You can create such a weird swordsmanship. Ji King spoke to his mind. Your sword principles are just at the common level, but the move you created is tremendous. Even those experts who have created sword principle at the universe level won't necessarily be capable of working it out. I have to thank Sunrise Sword Emperor for leaving these 9 sword scars. Besides, I am also grateful to Master Ku, who guided me at the beginning. Jian Wushuang laughed and said. After Jian Wushuang created the second sword principle of his own named swordplay of Aurora, he spent 8 years digging into swordsmanship. By now, he had finally made a great achievement on swordsmanship and fulfilled his goal. While this original body of mine was indulged in the study of swordsmanship, the other one has been meditating on the connotation of the strongest sword principle. Thus I have come to some understandings in which I feel that I am quite close to creating my third sword principle. Jian Wushuang smiled and said, people would surely be deeply shocked if they were told about someone who had created 2 sword principles successively in just a few decades and was about to create the third one. After all, sword principles were unimaginably profound. There was no way they could be created at will. But Jian Wushuang was different. He got a great gift in sword principle along with many treasures and opportunities that facilitated him. Most important of all, he had the strongest sword heart. The rule that the strongest sword heart must be metamorphosized from the strongest sword soul played an essential role in the meditation on sword principles. In comparison to other warriors of sword principles, Jian Wushuang got a much greater innate advantage. Even Ji King said that Jian Wushuang should at least create one of the strongest sword principles before he became a Dao master. Yet how many cultivators of sword principle would dare to set their goal to achieve the strongest sword principle in the whole green fire world? But for Jian Wushuang, who had the strongest sword heart, achieving the strongest sword principle was merely a starting point. Jian Wushuang was murmuring, but suddenly, boom! A dreadful roar came down from the distant void with a rush, carrying a horrible aftermath that spread to the whole Rock Demon clan. Ha ha! From today on, the Rock Demon clan will no longer exist on the Samsara continent. A loud and cold laughter came through the air like a heavy thunder, echoing in the entire residence of the Rock Demon clan. In an instant, the whole Rock Demon clan was startled. Whoosh! 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 Numerous experts of the Rock Demon clan rushed towards the residence of the Rock Demon clan with astonishment and anger on their face. What happened? Jian Wushuang glided to the void above the rift. Overlooking to the distant void, he could see the edge of his vision where several grand auras were approaching slowly. There were 8 auras in total, and all of them belonged to the real experts at Dao Master level. And most importantly, the 8 Dao Masters all came with tremendous killing intent. Apparently, they were not from the Rock Demon clan. What happened? Jian Wushuang said doubtfully. Master Wushuang, Master Wushuang. As there came an anxious voice, Qingbin glided to Jian Wushuang hurriedly. Qingbin, what happened? Why would there be some people directly intruding the residence of the Rock Demon clan? Jian Wushuang frowned and asked. With 10 Dao Masters, led by God Hong who was a rank 3 Dao Master, the Rock Demon clan was some way an advanced population. Within this territory, no one dared to mess with them except for the Black Python clan. Although the strength of the Black Python clan was slightly greater and the fight between the 2 populations was a bit crazy, the Black Python clan wouldn't dare to assault the city of the Rock Demon clan if there was no specific treasure that they coveted so much. Something happened. Something serious happened. Qingbin growled in a low voice, and his eyes turned red. He said, "The Black Python clan set us up. A medium population was bribed by them and joined their conspiracy. 4 elders of us who went out for business all fell today." Chapter 1013, Death Shadow. What? Jian Wushuang asked, unable to hold back his surprise. As an advanced population, the Rock Demon clan included not a few experts. Generally, the elders of the clan were Dao Master experts. 4 elders had fallen. It meant that 4 Dao Masters had fallen. There were just 10 Dao Masters in the whole Rock Demon clan. Even more, Brother Hong was beaten up by them. Qingbin said urgently, "I don't know how the Black Python clan called in an expert." He suddenly showed up and severely injured Brother Hong during the head-on fight between Brother Hong and the leader of the Black Python clan. If it were not for Brother Hong's incredible skill in defense, he would probably have got killed. Even God Hong got severely injured? Jian Wushuang said, squinting slightly. Including God Hong, there were just 10 Dao Masters in total in the Rock Demon clan. Now 4 of them had fallen at a time, and even God Hong got severely injured, making the battle strength of the high-level leaders of the Rock Demon clan sank to a low level. Not surprisingly, the experts of the Black Python clan dared to directly intrude into the city of the Rock Demon clan. "Master Wushuang, Brother Hong told me to ask you to leave immediately." Qingbin said, "After all, you don't belong here. You are not supposed to engage in the collision between our Rock Demon clan and the Black Python clan. So just get out of here. No need to leave immediately." Jian Wushuang shook his head while gazing at the 8 Dao Masters of the Black Python clan in the distance. He could sense the monstrous killing intent from them. He said, "The Black Python clan have fought with the Rock Demon clan for so many years. They finally got such a great opportunity, so they won't give you a break." Not surprisingly, the Black Python clan must have sent out all the experts today. The Rock Demon clan is in danger. "Jian Wushuang, what do you intend to do?" He heard Jiu King's voice. "I'm indebted to God Hong. Besides, during these years, I got a lot of help from the Rock Demon clan. They did me such a great favor, so I should do something for them in return." Jian Wushuang said with a smile. "You want to help them?" Jiu King said apathetically. "You tell me." Jian Wushuang said with a faint smile, while Blood Mountain sword appeared in his hand. "Master Wushuang, what are you doing?" Qingbin stared at Jian Wushuang with amazement and said, "Qingbin, just stand here and watch." Jian Wushuang said with a faint smile, then flying forward. Jian Wushuang flew across the void with ease like a ghost and soon got to the battlefield ahead. At this moment, the 2 populations were in an intense battle. Led by the 8 Dao Masters, numerous experts of the Black Python clan had directly intruded into the city of the Rock Demon clan. Numerous clansmen of the Rock Demon clan struggled to fight back. However, the battle strength of the high-level leaders of the Rock Demon clan was considerably inferior to that of the Black Python clan. Although the left Dao Masters of the Rock Demon clan joined the fight, they were soon beaten back by the 8 Dao Masters of the Black Python clan. No one could stop the 8 Dao Masters of the Black Python clan. "Ha ha, kill them all. Our Black Python clan is the unchallenged leader of this territory from today. The Rock Demon clan, after all these years of fight, today is the extermination day of your clan." Angry roars and loud laughs reverberated between heaven and earth. Led by the 8 Dao Masters, the experts of the Black Python clan killed wantonly in the territory of the Rock Demon clan. Meanwhile, the Rock Demon clan was barely capable of fighting back. At this moment, Jian Wushuang showed up in the midmost battlefield like a ghost, as well as in front of the 8 Dao Masters of the Black Python clan. All the 8 Dao Masters saw, but they didn't pay much attention. "Where does the brat come from? Get the hell out of here." A bald man waved his robe, and instantly there came a blast of power which formed a sharp sword shadow. It came towards Jian Wushuang's head. Jian Wushuang stood there indifferently with the corners of his mouth lifted to a special arc and his eyes fixed on Blood Mountain sword in his hand. "I've just created this swordsmanship and never displayed it in the presence of anyone. Today I should try its power on you 8 Dao Masters." Jian Wushuang murmured. Without any big movement, he just waved his sword casually. It was just a casual swipe which looked like a child's swipe. However, just as he waved Blood Mountain sword, a burst of horrified sword essence exploded at the moment. A sharp sword shadow was unleashed directly. Fast. It was so fast. It was definitely several times faster than any swordsmanships that Jian Wushuang had displayed before. At first, the 8 Dao masters in front of Jian Wushuang didn't take Jian Wushuang seriously, because he was just at Eternal Realm level. But when they saw this sharp sword shadow unleashed, they showed a trace of astonishment in their eyes. While they saw the sword shadow, a strange power directly overwhelmed them. At this moment, as their consciousness fell into a temporary pause, they were dumbfounded like a fool. Swish! After a low hum, peace was restored and the sharp sword shadow had vanished. Jian Wushuang stood in the void, slowly returning Blood Mountain's sword to the sheath. Watching the 8 Dao masters standing there still, he said with a faint smile, "I should thank Master Ku for inspiring me so that I could create this swordsmanship." Master Ku was one of the 18 masters of the Void Temple. Jian Wushuang used to have a fight with Master Ku outside of the imperial city of Tang of the East. Jian Wushuang still vividly remembered Master Ku's most powerful move. The move was stunning and incredibly fast. The most important thing was that the move contained consciousness attack as well. The saber technique and consciousness attack combined perfectly. The move shocked Jian Wushuang so much that it constantly crossed his mind when he tried to create a matching swordsmanship for Aurora Sword Principle during the past years. Thus, he intended to combine consciousness attack with his swordsmanship perfectly. After all, he was rather adept in consciousness attack. Through several years of study, he finally created this swordsmanship that had the speed of the Aurora Sword Principle and the consciousness attack. This move was incredibly fast. Meanwhile, the consciousness attack included in the swordsmanship was perfectly displayed after being greatly improved by the swordsmanship. It was even much more powerful than mind-controlling secret skill displayed by Jian Wushuang with all his strength. What was more, mind-controlling secret skill needed to be displayed by Jian Wushuang in a painstaking and complicated way. The sweeping consciousness attack could be easily noticed. Nevertheless, the consciousness attack included in the swordsmanship really came quietly without a sign, which created this extremely weird but incredibly fast move. This move is named Death Shadow. Jian Wushuang murmured. As he finished his words, the 8 Dao masters who hovered in the void ahead of him fell feebly one after another. 8 figures fell at the same time. This scene made the whole battlefield fall silent. Chapter 10:14. A move? In a hall in the deepest part of the territory of the Rock Demon clan. Third Elder, how is the preparation going? God Hong asked, sitting on a throne. He looked very pale, and his eyes were bloodshot. The elder experts of the Rock Demon clan were gathering at the bottom of the hall. 100 talented young clansmen have assembled. They can set off at any moment. The third elder of the Rock Demon clan, the only Dao master expert in the hall besides God Hong, said with a trace of misery. The Rock Demon clan ran into an unprecedented crisis. Except for God Hong and him, the other Dao masters were struggling to resist the attack of the Black Python clan. Meanwhile, they gathered in the hall, trying to leave a batch of descendants for the Rock Demon clan. God Hong, our Rock Demon clan was really in such a plight? An old lady with a dragon staff in hand asked in a deep voice. With a shudder of his huge body, God Hong said seriously, "We are trapped by the Black Python clan and suffered a great loss of the high-level battle strength. Even I'm seriously injured. There is less than 30% of our battle strength left. What's worse, the Black Python clan has called in a Dao master expert at the peak level of rank 3 to help them. Although the overall strength of our clan is almost equal to that of the Black Python clan, we are unable to resist them with the huge gap between the battle strength of our high-level leaders and that of theirs. It's impossible that the Black Python clan will spare our clan. We are almost doomed." God Hong gripped his hands tightly and said while trembling physically and mentally, "Doomed." It was such a simple word, but enough to drive the Rock Demon clan mad. God Hong raised his head again, and his eyes reddened. He said, "Our Rock Demon clan can be destructed and completely vanish in Samsara continent. Nevertheless, the bloodline of our Rock Demon clan that has been passed on for long years can't be cut off today. Third Elder, Later other elders and I will think of a way to distract those experts of the Black Python clan. Then you should seek an opportunity to lead the 100 talented young clansmen to leave this territory. From now on, all of you should conceal your identities and never reveal you from the Rock Demon clan to anyone. Besides, later other elders and I will fight to the death, but numerous clansmen don't need to do so. Tell them to get away as much as possible. The more of them get away, the more descendants of our Rock Demon clan can survive. Got it? God Hong's voice reverberated around the entire hall. In the hall, all experts of the Rock Demon clan took death calmly with a resolute expression. Quite a few of them even looked insane. It was the genocide battle of the Rock Demon clan. They were high-level experts of the Rock Demon clan. Besides Third Elder got his necessary task, the rest of them would definitely fight to the death and stay with their population. However, just at this moment, Big Brother Hong, with an anxious voice, someone rushed into the hall in haste. It was Qing Bin. What's the matter? They failed to block the enemies? God Hong asked, suddenly gripping his hands. No, it's not about it. It's Wushuang, Master Wushuang. Qing Bin apparently came here in great haste, so he failed to say it clearly due to shortness of breath. Jian Wushuang? Didn't I tell you to lead him away at once? God Hong said in a deep voice. No, Master Wushuang didn't leave. Instead, he joined the fight and directly killed the 8 Dao Masters of the Black Python clan. Qing Bin finally calmed down and said, What? All the people in the hall, including God Hong, were dumbfounded. They couldn't believe their ears at first. Jian Wushuang killed the 8 Dao Masters of the Black Python clan? Qing Bin, what did you just say? God Hong repeated anxiously. Master Wushuang joined the fight and directly killed the 8 Dao Masters who intruded the residence of our Rock Demon clan. What's more, Master Wushuang did it with just a move. Qing Bin said seriously. This time everyone heard him clearly. But after hearing it clearly, they were panic-stricken and sick at heart. Jian Wushuang was the young man who had been a guest in the city of the Rock Demon clan and meditated upon the 9 sword scars left by Sunrise Sword Emperor in the rift during the past years. Did he kill the 8 Dao Masters of the Black Python clan? What was more, he did it with just a move. Are you kidding me? Third Elder was the first to exclaim. We shouldn't blame him. After all, it was unusual in every respect. They were Dao Master experts, not just some cabbages on the street. They couldn't be killed so easily. After all, as a top expert, each Dao Master had his own trump card. They couldn't be killed easily. Even if all of the 8 Dao Master of the Black Python clan were the most common rank 1 Dao Masters, it still needed extraordinary skill and strength to kill them with just a move. At least, no one from their Rock Demon clan possessed this strength. Furthermore, the Dao Masters of the Black Python clan were generally at a high level. Among the 8 Dao Masters who had been killed, there were 5 rank 2 Dao Masters and only 3 rank 1 Dao Masters. It would be even harder to kill 8 Dao Masters like them at the same time with just a move. But now Qing Bin told them that Jian Wushuang, who was just at Eternal Realm level, killed the 8 Dao Masters with just a move? Could it be possible? Qing Bin, are you sure that he killed them with just one strike? God Hong asked in astonishment. I'm positive. Many of our clansmen witnessed that. The bodies of the 8 Dao Masters of the Black Python clan still lie under Master Wushuang's feet. Brother Hong, we can go there and have a look if you'd like to. Qing Bin quickly replied. Let's go there and have a look. Without thinking about something else, God Hong instantly rushed out of the hall and directly headed for the battlefield at the forefront. The high-level experts of the Rock Demon clan naturally followed him. Soon, they showed up around the battlefield and saw what was happening in front of them. In the vast void, more than 1 million clansmen of the Rock Demon clan and the Black Python clan gathered there. With so many people around, it should be extremely noisy. However, at this moment, they were horribly quiet in this void. There was total silence without any noise. It was like the entire space and time were frozen. Everyone's eyes were fixed on the scarlet-robed man with a long sword on his back in the very center of the void. The scarlet-robed man had a faint smile on his face. Under his feet, there were 8 bodies. Although they were dead, they still wore terrified expressions and auras of Dao Masters. There was an extremely clear sword scar respectively at every corpse's neck. Both the shape and the cut of the sword scar looked exactly the same. Obviously, someone killed the 8 people at the same time with just a move. Just a move. Chapter 10:15. You again. So it's true? God Hong said in astonishment. Those experts who followed him here also looked stunned. When first hearing the news from Qing Bin, they seriously doubted it. But now they had to believe what they saw. Indeed, Jian Wushuang killed the 8 Dao Masters of the Black Python clan with just a move. How did he do that? God Hong couldn't help thinking. Meanwhile, Jian Wushuang, who had been the focus between heaven and earth, suddenly raised his head. In the distance, he saw several figures fly towards him and appeared in front of him instantly. Certainly, they were the clan leader and the remaining Dao Masters of the Black Python clan. The overall strength of the Black Python clan was much better than that of the Rock Demon clan. Certainly, the Black Python clan included more Dao Masters. Except the 8 killed by Jian Wushuang, there were still 6 left. Damn it! The leader of the Black Python clan was the insidious man with a small black snake on his shoulder. Watching the 8 bodies on the ground, he looked extremely sullen, shaking violently. There were 8 Dao Masters. Their Black Python clan had only 14 Dao Masters in total. Now more than half of them had been killed by Jian Wushuang. Naturally, the insidious man felt so distressed. Nevertheless, regardless of his distress, he witnessed Jian Wushuang's great strength. He had watched the fight in the void not far away. His original plan was that the 8 Dao Masters led numerous experts of the Black Python clan to fight their way to the city of the Rock Demon clan. Then, he and other Dao Masters awaited the badly hurt God Hong. Finally, they would immediately kill him the moment he showed up. However, no one had expected that a sword principal expert just at Eternal Realm level showed up and killed all the 8 Dao Masters before God Hong showed up. Jian Wushuang's move also shocked him tremendously. It was so fast. It was so fast that there was not enough time for him to rescue them. Where does the brat come from? When did the Rock Demon clan have such an incredible expert at Eternal Realm level? The insidious man fixed his eyes on Jian Wushuang. Jian Wushuang glanced up at him as well, but soon his eyes rested on a black-robed elder. Well, I didn't expect that I would meet an acquaintance. We are really enemies on a narrow road, Jian Wushuang said in a cold voice. Kid, you again? The black-robed elder also raised his head. He glanced at Jian Wushuang in astonishment. Jian Wushuang immediately recognized the black-robed elder was the expert from the Sky-Devouring clan. The elder and Jin Yu joined forces to ambush Dragon Wing Governor and him. Likewise, the black-robed elder Di Yang also recognized Jian Wushuang. So you are the expert who helps the Black Python clan? Jian Wushuang asked with a faint smile. That's right. Di Yang nodded and said in a cold voice, Brat, you stopped me from killing Dragon Wing Governor before. Today I'm going to help the Black Python clan exterminate the Rock Demon clan, and you are going to spoil my plan again? You seem to have a problem with me, right? I was indebted to the Rock Demon clan. If you are going to kill them, I have no choice but to fight with you. Jian Wushuang said coolly. Di Yang's face suddenly darkened. Master Di Yang, that's enough. Just kill him. The insidious man beside him urged in a cold voice. Shut up. Glancing at the insidious man, Di Yang snapped in a deep voice. You think it's so easy to kill this brat? Di Yang had gone through Jian Wushuang's horrible defensive ability. These days, he could still feel a dull pain inside his broken teeth. To kill Jian Wushuang? It was impossible for him. If he's helping the Rock Demon clan, it'll be quite difficult for you to exterminate them. Di Yang said in a deep voice. How come? No matter how powerful the brat is, he's just at Eternal Realm level. Can't you kill him with all your full strength? The insidious man refused to yield. He ground his teeth with rage, while his eyes turned red. Master Di Yang, if you can kill him with all your strength, I can pay you 30% more of the reward I've promised. The insidious man encouraged coldly. Oh, Di Yang said, raising his eyebrows. He was not familiar with the Black Python clan. The reason why he decided to help the Black Python clan was that the insidious man promised him a lovely reward. Now he could get paid 30% more. It was rather tempting for Yang. I can promise you to kill him with all my strength, but I can't make any guarantee. Yang said. As long as you help us, I'll pay you 30% more regardless of the result. The insidious man said, clenching his hands, I don't believe that our preparations during the past years will be ruined by a nobody who is just at eternal realm level. Well, I will do my best. Yang said and moved at the next moment. But on his way toward Jian Wushuang, Yang sneered secretly, he's so dumb as to trust me. He knows nothing about the brat's horrifying defensive ability. I can't kill him even with my full strength. But since he's willing to pay 30% more, I'll put on a good show for him. Yang didn't think about killing Jian Wushuang at all. He just wanted to pretend to go all out and then be defeated by Jian Wushuang. In the end, he could get the extra 30% reward. Watching Yang coming towards him, Jian Wushuang had a weird smile on his face. Jian Wushuang thought, at that time, outside of Jinyu's castle, I was still at a disadvantage when I engaged the old fellow. I could only make him leave using my defensive ability. Back then I didn't create any sword principle nor incredible swordsmanship, but now, I've created 2 sword principles and been able to unleash their power at the same time. Besides, I've created 2 matching unique swordsmanships to greatly promote their battle strength. I'm wondering what will happen if I fight with the old fellow again today. Jian Wushuang wore a cold look and was eager to fight. Kill! With tremendous battle intent, Jian Wushuang shouted in a deep voice. As he moved, he had a face-to-face collision with Yang who came towards him. A burst of overwhelming sword essence immediately exploded at the moment they collided. Jian Wushuang held Blood Mountain Sword tightly with one hand, while Blood Mountain Sword was trembling and emitting bursts of overwhelming power. As fierce lights flashed in his eyes, he shot Blood Mountain Sword directly toward Yang. This move was extremely cold and emotionless. This move was created by Jian Wushuang based on his first sword principle, the coalescent sword principle. This move was named Ruthlessness. Chapter 10:16. Fight with Yang again. Buzz! Emotionlessly, the cold and ruthless sword lights directly appeared in front of Yang and flustered the latter. It was only one swordsmanship, but in Yang's eyes, it was such a strange swordsmanship that seemed to contain several different essence. Humph! Yang snorted and suddenly clapped his wrinkled hands. The power came overwhelmingly like a piece of dark cloud. Whoosh! The strong sword lights swept and completely tore apart the dark cloud. The remaining sword lights still came at Yang. What? Yang was startled. He immediately waved his sleeves to disperse these sword lights. Buzz! A sword shadow had quietly appeared beside Yang. So fast. Yang couldn't help narrowing his eyes. A powerful consciousness attack directly came to him at the moment he saw the sword shadow. It was the perfect combination of swordsmanship and consciousness attack. It was a move named Death Shadow. The sudden consciousness attack directly swept over Yang without any sign. Although Yang was a peak rank 3 Dao master, at this moment he still felt a sharp pain in his consciousness and couldn't help trembling. Nevertheless, he managed to take the consciousness attack. In face of the consciousness attack, he instantly slapped on Jian Wushuang's long sword lightning fast and fended off Jian Wushuang's sword shadow. At the same time, he also retreated. Humph! Jian Wushuang snorted. The power of Blood Mountain Sword in his hand increased greatly. And at the next moment, his swordsmanship was in full swing. Swoosh! 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 The sword shadows chopped, swept, or stabbed. Each of them was lightning fast. They were so fast. Apparently, Jian Wushuang had used his Aurora sword principle to the utmost. Every sword shadow came out lightning fast one after another. The swordsmanship! Yang said in great astonishment. It should be noted that he had a fight with Jian Wushuang more than 20 years ago. Although Jian Wushuang showed great strength at that time, Jian Wushuang was much weaker than him. In terms of swordsmanship, He did not remember Jian Wushuang displayed any remarkable swordsmanship. But now, Jian Wushuang's swordsmanship was much better than before. Although his swordsmanship was almost ordinary and not very powerful, he was so fast and vigorous. Jian Wushuang's power amplifications of 3-star Ancient God Power and Star River Secret skill were 90 times, and the power of blood-killing armor had increased by 10 times in Stage 1. Thus, his power had soared. At that time, Jian Wushuang could display the battle strength close to peak rank 3 level without help from any sword principle. Now he had created 2 sword principles. With the help of the 2 sword principles, he had reached the peak of rank 3, which made him even a bit more powerful than Di Yang. With the fast speed, great strength, and incredible swordsmanship, Jian Wushuang completely overwhelmed Di Yang at the moment. Di Yang totally failed to fight back. How is it possible? How is it possible? Di Yang roared wildly in his heart. It has been less than 30 years since then. How is it possible that he has promoted his strength so much? It's impossible. Di Yang was drastically astonished. Di Yang did not know that Jian Wushuang had just spent 2,000 years on cultivation since he was born. What was more, he had spent over 1,200 years rebuilding his body. As an inverse cultivator, he possessed the flawless foundation and the strongest sword heart beyond Di Yang's imagination. Besides, he had the help from plenty of treasures and opportunities. 30 years was long enough for Jian Wushuang to promote his strength greatly. Di Yang was overwhelmed. Meanwhile, the battle intent in Jian Wushuang's eyes grew more and more intense, and his swordsmanship was increasingly faster. Retreat! Retreat right away! Di Yang calmed down. He watched Jian Wushuang in panic, and then retreated immediately when he spotted an opportunity. He fell to the bat category of the Sky-Devouring clan and was talented at speed. Not even Jian Wushuang could capture him if he managed to run. Thus, the fierce battle between them stopped. Up in the void, Jian Wushuang still stood there with tremendous battle intent. He stared at Di Yang coldly and said, "What a pity. I can barely suppress him in our fight. However, it's not very practical for me to kill him." Jian Wushuang was also reluctant. After all, Di Yang was a real peak rank 3 Dao master gifted at speed. It was indeed pretty difficult to kill him. Jian Wushuang felt reluctant. People watching their fight were dumbstruck. Jian Wushuang, he defeated a peak rank 3 Dao master? God Hong and numerous experts of the Rock Demon clan looked extremely shocked. God Hong was especially awestruck. He used to fight with Di Yang. Even with his extremely strong body, he got seriously injured by Di Yang in less than 2 rounds and withdrew in panic. Di Yang's great strength made him a top dog in the entire Samsara continent. But now Di Yang was defeated by Jian Wushuang? Defeated by a young man who was an Eternal Realm expert from the ancient world and was favored by him 2,000 years ago? How did that happen? The insidious man, leader of the Black Python clan, watched all this in surprise and asked. In the meantime, Di Yang appeared beside him, looking rather miserable. "Did you see that?" Di Yang said with a trace of anger on his face, while his eyes were also filled with rage. "I've gone all out, but... Mo Lin, let's retreat. With the brat helping the Rock Demon clan, your Black Python clan is unable to exterminate them," Di Yang said in a deep voice. Mo Lin was the name of the insidious man, leader of the Black Python clan. The insidious man Mo Lin's face was sullen. He looked over at Jian Wushuang and fixed his eyes on him with endless hatred and reluctance. Reluctant, he was very reluctant indeed. This time their Black Python clan prepared everything well and even called in Di Yang for help at a high cost. They ambushed 4 Dao masters of the Rock Demon clan, seriously injured God Hong, and even had intruded the residence of the Rock Demon clan. Everything went as planned. However, no one had expected that at the brink of exterminating the Rock Demon clan, there came such an incredible Eternal Realm expert from the Rock Demon clan. The Eternal Realm expert killed 8 Dao masters under his command and even defeated Di Yang. With this Eternal Realm expert helping the Rock Demon clan, Mo Lin clearly knew that it was impossible for their Black Python clan to exterminate the Rock Demon clan today. If they continued their desperate attempts, their Black Python clan might be the one that was exterminated. "Let's retreat," Mo Lin said, while his heart was bleeding. Chapter 1017, Retreat. Numerous experts of the Black Python clan retreated. They retreated reluctantly with the bodies of the 8 Dao masters. At the sight of this, the Rock Demon clan cheered for the victory in great excitement. Jian Wushuang. God Hong led numerous experts of the Rock Demon clan coming up to Jian Wushuang with tremendous gratitude and respect in their eyes. In this world, people always respected the strong. For people of the Rock Demon clan, obviously, Jian Wushuang was such a strong expert. Thanks a lot, God Hong said in a solemn voice. He was quite clear that if it were not for Jian Wushuang's help, his clan would probably have been exterminated today. Back then in the ancient world, I was indebted to you. Besides, you've taken good care of me during these years. Certainly, I should pay you back for your favor. Jian Wushuang said with a smile, but it's a pity that I couldn't kill the clan leader of the Black Python clan for avoiding later trouble, because he kept hiding behind, in a distance from me. Now the Black Python clan has retreated, but I'm afraid that they won't let go easily. This time, the Rock Demon clan suffered a great loss, but obviously, the Black Python clan suffered more. 8 Dao masters had been killed by Jian Wushuang, which was enough to distress the Black Python clan greatly. The Black Python clan would definitely take frenzied revenge if they were capable of doing so. God Hong and numerous experts of the Rock Demon clan all looked solemn. They also knew that the crisis had just been resolved temporarily today. Elder God Hong, the 9 sword scars left by Sunrise Sword Emperor is of great use to me. Can I stay in the rift for another period? Jian Wushuang asked. Certainly. God Hong nodded repeatedly and said, you can stay in the rift, no matter how long you want. I've told them not to disturb you. By the way, since you are more powerful than me, it's unnecessary for you to keep calling me Elder. You can directly call me by my name or call me Big Brother Hong like Qing Bin. Then thank you for your treat, Big Brother Hong. Jian Wushuang said with a faint smile. Then he floated out of there and directly headed for the rift where the 9 sword scars were located without talking to those experts of the Rock Demon clan. On his way, Jian Wushuang heard Jiu King say, Jian Wushuang, you've created the Aurora Sword Principle and the Death Shadow. The 9 sword scars should be of little use to you now, but you said that you still needed to stay in the rift for meditation for some time. You do it for the Rock Demon clan, right? Jiu King, you know me better and better after parasitizing in my body for so long. Jian Wushuang said with a smile, I should help them through. The Rock Demon clan has just suffered from a great loss, and the Black Python clan won't let go easily. If I leave at this moment, I'm afraid that the Rock Demon clan will still be exterminated. In that case, I might as well stay in the residence of the Rock Demon clan for another period. It won't be too late to leave after the Rock Demon clan completely recovered. What's more, although the 9 sword scars are less useful to me than before, they are still of some use. Jiu King groaned slightly without saying anything else. Jian Wushuang returned to the rift again and continued his meditation upon sword principle. Numerous clansmen of the Rock Demon clan were uncommonly grateful and respectful to Jian Wushuang. If there were still very few sword principle warriors who had complained that Jian Wushuang kept occupying the rift, now these clansmen expected him to stay there all the time. It brought their clan much more confidence and benefits to have such an incredible expert in their residence. In a grand hall on the territory of the Black Python clan. Asshole! Damned bastard! We were so close to exterminating the Rock Demon clan. Just at this moment, a sword principle expert showed up. Where does the brat come from? Mo Lin, the clan leader, started to roar insanely from the moment he stepped into the hall. On hearing these roars, the experts of the Black Python clan who stepped into the hall at the same time fell into silence, their expressions extremely unpleasant. This time their clan had indeed suffered a double loss. They didn't exterminate the Rock Demon clan. Instead, 8 of their Dao masters had been killed. Master Di Yang, I heard the conversation between you and the brat. You've known him long before? Mo Lin asked, looking toward Di Yang. Yang slowly sat down on a throne and began to talk after the hall became silent. I met the brat before indeed. His name is Jian Wushuang. Although he's just an Eternal Realm expert, his battle strength is comparable to that of a rank 3 Dao master due to his bloodline or something else. Over 20 years ago, I used to fight with him. Back then, he could barely survive in the fight. Di Yang described the fight with Jian Wushuang like this. But actually, Jian Wushuang survived in the fight with great ease. He just could do nothing to Jian Wushuang at that time. Over 20 years ago, his strength was close to rank 3 peak at most, but today. Speaking of this, Di Yang's face suddenly darkened. He said, today he showed the strength which is definitely at the peak level of rank 3. Even I was at a disadvantage in the fight with him. He has made an unimaginably rapid progress indeed. Bastard! Mo Lin said, clenching his teeth, our Black Python clan has prepared for so many years and paid such a high price for it. We must not waste all our previous efforts because of him. We must think of a way to kill him or drive him away. Master Di Yang, do you have any idea? Di Yang narrowed his eye and said, Jian Wushuang has tremendous strength as well as incredible defensive capability. It's impossible for me to kill him by myself. But, on hearing the word but, Mo Lin immediately raised his eyebrows and said, Master Di Yang, tell me whatever idea you got. As long as we can kill the brat and exterminate the Rock Demon clan, we can negotiate no matter what price we need to pay. Di Yang forced a smile and said, it's not that we can do nothing about it if we really want to kill him. As far as I know, Jian Wushuang killed a gold-clothed deacon of the Samsara temple before. A gold-clothed deacon? Mo Lin was stunned. Gold-clothed deacons can be considered as higher-ups of the Samsara temple. There are just a few of them. If any of them dies, it will be a great loss for the Samsara temple. Since Jian Wushuang killed a gold-clothed deacon, the Samsara temple won't pretend that nothing has happened no matter why he did that. Di Yang said with a faint smile. Chapter 1018. Someone from Samsara temple. Do you mean that we'll pass on the dirty work to Samsara temple? Mo Lin looked over at Di Yang. Exactly. Di Yang smirked. As far as I know, Samsara temple has learnt that Jian Wushuang killed one of their gold-clothed deacon. They must be searching for him all these years. Once we inform them of Jian Wushuang's whereabouts, they will certainly send their experts over. Is that so? Mo Lin replied. I happen to be acquainted with another gold-clothed deacon. I'll send a message for him right now so that he can report on Jian Wushuang. Good. Di Yang nodded. In your message, describe Jian Wushuang's strength and defensive power in detail, so that they can send a well-matched opponent. Right. Mo Lin sent the message at once. It didn't take long for a reply. The gold-clothed deacon I contacted has filed a report. We'll receive news soon. Mo Lin rejoiced. Then we'll just wait patiently. In the meanwhile, we'd better watch over Rock Demon Clan and what they are up to, Di Yang added. All right. Mo Lin nodded, and gave instructions for the arrangement. Peace was soon restored to the city of Black Python clan. But it was short-lived, and lasted only for one day. Good news. The gold-clothed deacon told me that Samsara temple has dispatched their expert. Mo Lin cried out with excitement. Samsara temple is rather efficient. We've just reported it and their expert set off in less than a day. Di Yang was elated. By the way, who did they send? A Dao master called Dreamless. I heard he's a rank 8 reincarnator. Mo Lin replied. Dao master Dreamless? Di Yang squinted as he searched through his memory. His eyes lit up as he recalled the Dao master. I remember him. He cried. Lord Di Yang, do you know him? Mo Lin asked. Rank 8 reincarnators were rare in the entire Samsara continent. Although he was a leader of a strong population, Mo Lin was still not in a position to meet the reincarnators. I've only heard of him. He's indeed a rank 8 reincarnator, as well as a heaven-level law executor. He's one of the well-known top experts in Samsara continent. Di Yang said with a serious look. Although he's only at rank 3 peak, he's the best among his peers. Most importantly, he excels at attacking. His offensive power would easily make him the third most powerful celestial master in Green Fire World. Is that good? Mo Lin asked, eyes wide. He could hold the third place among Green Fire World's celestial masters? When it comes to offensive power, there were many experts, such as Emperor Xiao and Emperor Yun, who were almost at the level of a celestial master. These experts were much stronger than normal Dao masters at rank 3 peak. But even Emperor Xiao dared not to claim the third place with his offensive power, which meant that Dao Master Dreamless was better skilled at offensive power than Emperor Xiao and Emperor Yun. Jian Wushuang is known for his defensive skill. Mediocre Dao Masters of rank 3 peak don't stand a chance in front of him. But Dao Master Dreamless might succeed. I can't ask for anything better. Once Jian Wushuang is killed, Rock Demon Clan will vanish too. Mo Lin cried out with excitement. Let's wait for Dao Master Dreamless. He should be arriving in a few days' time. Di Yang chuckled. Like Void Temple, Samsara Temple had set up numerous wormholes on Samsara continent. However, their wormholes were not accessible by just anyone, no matter the price offered to grant access. Which is why while normal people walked on foot, Samsara Temple experts are able to make use of the wormholes for a faster journey. 3 days later, in the void above the city of Black Python Clan, Mo Lin, Di Yang and other experts from Black Python Clan all waited in silence. Before long, a bright golden light appeared, making its way towards the crowd. It came to a stop before the crowd, and a figure dressed in a golden robe came into view. A dignified, handsome young man appeared with his magic weapons, which were 2 long spears, behind his back. Mo Lin, Di Yang and the others greeted the golden-robed man at once. Leader of Black Python Clan, at your service. Mo Lin bowed respectfully. Black Python Clan? Barely paying any attention to Mo Lin, the Dao Master looked over to Di Yang instead. He noticed that among these experts, only Di Yang was at rank 3 peak. Who is this? Dao Master Dreamless asked Di Yang, at your service. Di Yang replied modestly.
Dian.
The Dao Master narrowed his eyes. Sky-devouring bat Di Yang? Dao Master Dreamless has actually heard of me. What an honor. Di Yang smiled faintly. Well, there are only 2 sky-devouring members on Samsara continent. One of them is you and the other is your father Empyrean Patriarch. Dao Master Dreamless continued. Your father Empyrean Patriarch is rather brutal. Many great populations and clans, including Samsara Temple, are all afraid of him. As his only son, you'll naturally be noticed by the Samsara Temple. But why are you involved in this matter? I wouldn't dare to interfere with Samsara Temple's affairs. But this time is a coincidence. Mo Lin has asked me to deal with Rock Demon Clan, but alas, Jian Wushuang came along. To be honest, he's rather capable. Although I'm at rank 3 peak, I'm no match for him. Di Yang looked ashamed. Even you can't defeat him? The Dao Master could not help but gave a look of astonishment. He had no idea just how strong Di Yang really was. But he was aware of how destructive his father Empyrean Patriarch was. Di Yang, a descendant of Sky-devouring clan and an expert of rank 3 peak, surely would not be lacking in power. But Di Yang could not defeat Jian Wushuang, which adequately shows how capable the latter was. I heard that he's only at Eternal Realm level. I'd like to meet a man at Eternal Realm level with such battle strength. Dao Master Dreamless eyes flashed with anticipation. Chapter 1019, Dragon Trapping Array. Well, let's set off now. Di Yang suggested. Sure. Dao Master Dreamless nodded. But I must clarify this, I will only deal with Jian Wushuang. I won't intervene in the war between Black Python Clan and Rock Demon Clan. Of course. Both Di Yang and Mo Lin gave an easy smile. Jian Wushuang was the reason why Black Python Clan could not defeat Rock Demon Clan. If Dao Master Dreamless managed to get rid of Jian Wushuang, whom Rock Demon Clan had been dependent on, Rock Demon Clan will inherently be at Black Python Clan's mercy. Moments later, Dao Master Dreamless appeared from a void before Rock Demon Clan's residences. Di Yang, Mo Lin, and other experts followed behind the master. Jian Wushuang. Dao Master Dreamless' powerful voice could be heard by the entire Rock Demon Clan. The intensity of the voice shocked even Rock Demon Clan. In the valley, Jian Wushuang was practicing his swordsmanship in solitary. I'm almost there. What's the last component? Brows knitted, he racked his brains for an answer. He had assimilated the coalescent sword principle and the aurora sword formation. The third sword principle was nearly integrated as well. But Jian Wushuang could not overcome the final step to achieve full assimilation. Suddenly, Jian Wushuang, the powerful voice which had rang throughout the entire Rock Demon clan, reached the little valley where Jian Wushuang was. Jian Wushuang looked up in the direction of the sound. Brother Wushuang. Along with Rock Demon clan's experts, God Hong hurried into the valley. Brother Hong, what's the matter? Jian Wushuang asked. It's the Black Python clan, they're here again. They brought someone to help them this time. God Hong looked worried. Oh. Jian Wushuang nodded. He wasn't surprised. He had fully expected that Black Python clan would not let the matter rest. Who did they bring along? Jian Wushuang asked. I don't know. God Hong shook his head. All I know is that he is good at spears and has a strong aura that is stronger than most experts at the peak of rank 3. But he is not a celestial master. Not a celestial master? Jian Wushuang smirked. Jian Wushuang is well aware of his defense skills. To pose as a threat to him, one must be a celestial master. Since the person who Black Python clan had brought along was not a celestial master, he had nothing to worry about. Jiyu King, is there anything that can hinder one's movement among the treasures that Dao Yuanzi had left behind? Jian Wushuang doubted. There is. What are you going to do with it? Asked Jiyu King. The 9 sword scars are losing their power, and I don't intend to stay here anymore. If I can, I'd like to get rid of the Black Python clan once and for all. Jian Wushuang replied. Dao Yuanzi left a large collection of treasures. There are ones which prevents one from running away. Though the only one you'll find helpful will be the dragon trapping array. Jiyu King added. Dragon trapping array? Jian Wushuang asked. The dragon trapping array is an ordinary spell formation in Eternal Chaotic World, but it's an impressive one in Green Fire World. The spell formation will cast a temporary defensive cover once it's set up. Save for the spellcaster, anyone trapped within the defensive cover will have their speed of movement reduced. The enemies can't escape within a short period of time. With their speed of movement significantly reduced, you're presented with the opportunity to kill them. Jiyu King continued. Dao Yuanzi left behind a complete set of dragon trapping array which you may set up secretly. But some chaos gems will be required to cast the spell formation. How many Chao gems are needed? Jian Wushuang asked. It depends on how long you need the formation to last for. On average, to maintain the formation for 15 minutes, you would need 10 chaos gems. Jiyu King answered. 10 chaos gems for 15 minutes? Jian Wushuang repeated, eyes glowing. For an expert like Jian Wushuang, 15 minutes was sufficient to engage in several rounds of battle. With some extra effort, he will be able to destroy the entire Black Python clan in less than 15 minutes. I'll take the dragon trapping array. Jian Wushuang made the decision and summoned his slaughter body. Take care of them for me. Jian Wushuang ordered, passing an interspatial ring to his slaughter body. Okay. The slaughter body nodded slightly and left with the lightness and fluidity of a ghost. Jian Wushuang, what are you? God Hong and the others couldn't understand what was happening with the appearance of slaughter body. Brother Hong, let's go and meet Black Python clan. Jian Wushuang merely smiled and headed towards the void. In the void before the residences of Rock Demon clan, Dao Master Dreamless headed a group of soldiers while holding long golden spears. The master emitted a strong aura. Swish, 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 swish. In a flash, numerous figures flew before Dao Master Dreamless, floating in the air. Is that the person who Black Python clan is engaging help from? Jian Wushuang narrowed his eyes at Dao Master Dreamless. He could feel the pressure that Dao Master Dreamless is giving him. He experienced similar level of pressure when facing Emperor Xiao or Emperor Yun. He is likely to be a match for Uncle Xiao. Jian Wushuang thought. So, you are Jian Wushuang? Dao Master Dreamless returned the stare. I am. Jian Wushuang nodded slightly. I'm Dao Master Dreamless, Heaven-level Law Executor of Samsara Temple. Not long ago, you killed our gold-clothed deacon Jin Yu. Today, I'm here to take your life. The Dao Master declared in a deep tone. The Master's words were a shock to Rock Demon Clan's experts. His from Samsara Temple? Did Master Wushuang kill a gold-clothed deacon of Samsara Temple? Damn, a law executor from Samsara Temple. This means trouble. The faces of God Hong and others turned white in distress. Jian Wushuang simply wore a faint smile and asked the master, Dao Master Dreamless, may I know how you're going to take my life? I'll kill you right here. The Dao Master retorted coldly and darted towards Jian Wushuang. Shoo! A terrifying noise resonated throughout the void. Dao Master Dreamless shifted from his original position to where Jian Wushuang was in an instant. His long golden spears were aggressively directed at Jian Wushuang. Chapter 1020. Dao Master Dreamless. Those spears. Jian Wushuang regarded the intimidating gold spears that pierced through the void and left a damaged portal. Though shocked, Jian Wushuang managed to draw his Blood Mountain sword, which was quaking with power. Ruthlessness. With a shout, he struck. A stifling power blanketed the area. The strike was ruthless and direct. Clang! The edge of the sword and the tip of the long gold spear clashed, shattering the void nearby. Jian Wushuang's arms trembled at the force of the blows and he could not help but stagger back. His power is astounding. Jian Wushuang exclaimed to himself. In terms of strength, the Dao Master was far superior to him. Go! With another shout, Dao Master Dreamless lunged out with his gold spear again. Chew! 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 He struck 3 more times, every blow fast and terrifying as a venomous snake. With cold resolve in his eyes, Jian Wushuang brandished his Blood Mountain sword. Since Jian Wushuang had devised the Aurora Sword principle, he was able to keep up with the Dao Master's speed. Clang! 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 Jian Wushuang's arms shivered at the force of each blow. Humph! Jian Wushuang lashed out at the Dao Master's neck with all of his strength. Death Shadow! Clang! Light flashed off his sword as Jian Wushuang launched an immaterial consciousness attack. Dao Master Dreamless went still at the attack but recovered quickly and struck again. He easily warded off the Death Shadow and forced Jian Wushuang to retreat, once again. Suddenly, the Dao Master's fighting seemed to improve. He struck continuously, sometimes stabbing, sometimes slashing, and sometimes even throwing out the length of his spear. Every blow the Dao Master launched was formidable. He was far more capable than an ordinary Dao Master at the peak of rank 3. He's too powerful. Though Jian Wushuang could keep up with his opponent's speed, the latter was much stronger. Every time he blocked a blow, Jian Wushuang's remaining strength dwindled. All the consecutive strikes were beginning to test his endurance. Damn it, I can't do it anymore. Jian Wushuang was pale-faced and trembling, and he could no longer ignore the sharp pain in his arms. All of his strength left him suddenly. Dao Master Dreamless lashed out with his spear. The force of the blow dented the Blood Mountain sword. Vehemence gleamed in the Dao Master's eyes. Ultimate dragon killing. Chew! A blinding golden light emerged. The light shone like a golden sun before it barreled toward Jian Wushuang. Everywhere the light touched, the void shattered. The single strike of the spear seemed to destroy everything. Jian Wushuang squinted at the strike and attempted to block it. His Blood Mountain sword fell to the side and failed to ward off the impact, which hit him square in the chest. Clang! A clash resounded. What? The Dao Master looked up in surprise. A crimson mist from his robe covered Jian Wushuang's entire body. The tip of the spear wounded Jian Wushuang, but failed to fatally pierce him. Shoo! The force of the blow threw Jian Wushuang back. He grunted from the impact and coughed up blood. Jian Wushuang was wounded. Even with the blood-killing plate armory, Jian Wushuang was wounded by the spear. It was the first time that he had been hurt after he became a 3-star ancient god and acquired the blood-killing plate armor. Under normal circumstances, even with a direct hit, Jian Wushuang would remain unscathed. When Di Yang had landed a blow on Jian Wushuang, he was not only unharmed but had somehow caused Di Yang to break a tooth. The fact that the Dao Master was able to wound Jian Wushuang was a testament to his abilities. The observers, however, were amazed that Jian Wushuang was not more seriously injured. He's only slightly injured after taking a hit like that in the chest? My God, how strong is his defensive power? It is really insurmountable. The crowd roared and bellowed. God Hong widened his eyes. I've awakened my rock demon giant bloodline, and I'm a master in defense. But even if I became 10 times stronger, I still couldn't ward off that blow. How is he only slightly injured? The crowd was astounded. Even Dao Master Dreamless himself was surprised. You're not badly injured? Dao Master Dreamless. Di Yang continued with a serious voice. Even though you can't kill him with one strike, he's injured now, and all you have to do is continue to attack. Soon, he'll be defeated. That I have to keep attacking? The Dao Master considered the action, but his expression suddenly changed. He noticed Jian Wushuang's expression. During the previous round of battle, Jian Wushuang must have known the outcome. Jian Wushuang was supposed to look shocked or terrified, or at least disheartened at being injured in such a fashion. Instead, Jian Wushuang seemed pleasantly surprised. Yes, he was surprised, perhaps even elated. That blow! Jian Wushuang yelled in his heart as his eyes flashed with excitement. Dao Master Dreamless strike was powerful and overwhelming. Almost no one could have blocked it. Jian Wushuang was inspired by it. Such power! So violent and overpowering. Isn't this just what I need to devise the third sword principle?